and welcome to the last of our panel discussions here at IPC Apex. And it's my favorite one too, because it's on the marketing landscape, media, trade shows, and social media. The people who really make things work behind the scenes are joining us on the panel today. A very influential group. We have Brent Fishtal on the end from Co-Young. Next to him we have Sherry Stepp from Kaizen Corporation. Then we have Deb Geiger from Aegis Corporation. And finally, we have Raquel, let me get this right, Madureira. And you're from Critical Manufacturing out of the Portugal office. Okay, good. So thank you for joining me, people. Let's get straight into it because we've had a great show this week. And this is really the first real post-COVID show. But my question is, how have trade shows changed post-COVID? Let's start with you, Brent.
So, post-COVID, we're back to pre-COVID, right? So right now, we're having one of our greatest shows, and not much has changed. We're back to having a lot of people in. We're back to face-to-face, not mask-to-mask. So we're there. If anything, what's changed has made us more effective in how we're delivering our message, because over the past 2 years, we've had to really figure out what we need to say better to our customers and keep it more concise.
Okay.
So we've just become more effective on delivering our message at the shows.
Okay. Has anybody else found any changes? Is anything different from the way we used to do it before COVID?
I think a lot of what's different today is pre-COVID, people started falling off of shows. They stopped coming. They were only sending necessary people. But after COVID, now it's like people want to get in front of people. They want to see things face to face. We call them tire kickers. There's not a lot of them still. Right. They're very pointed. They're looking for something. They're looking for something in particular. So they want to see it up front.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, the people that are here are here for a reason, most of them. Is it true that because of COVID and the amount of savings that the accountants made in these companies, they've seen the savings that they can make, and therefore it's getting harder to get permission to go to a show if you're just going to have a look around and shop?
Yeah, I think that, definitely, and we started seeing it in Q4 of last year as well, that, again, going out in front, some of the online meetings, it's hard for people to get their attention, right? Because they're multitasking, they're maybe watching your virtual event, but they're also doing something else.
Yeah.
So, coming, they've got dedicated time, they've got time to really evaluate the technologies, to hear the use cases and see it firsthand, which sometimes it's just not the same when you're online.
Yeah.
So it's been really beneficial to have that face to face, and I think people really do miss that human interaction.
That's true. Well, one thing I noticed last year, especially, was there was quite a rise in the small tabletop events. There's a lot more people going to these local tabletop events rather than the big trade shows, and so. This is quite refreshing to see so many people coming back to the big trade show, but this is the first one I've seen, quite frankly, that's normal.
So I think that people are looking for experiences. So in that sense, they are quite a bit more demanding, and it puts more, for the exhibitors, it's also more demanding because they need to stand out and to give the visitors what they are looking for. It's quite a stronger omnichannel experience because we feel the need to start now more to start promoting the trade show way before it started and tell people that it's really important to go on sites because we will have there something different to show them, something new, because that's what they are looking for. And they really assess if it's worth to go to the show, if we will be showing really something different, or if they can manage it by online, for instance, because they are so used now to the online experiences. Going to a trade show is a bigger effort. But on the other hand, people that are visiting the trade shows, they are the right ones. They really want to go there. They are really looking for something for their business, and that's why it's also very important for us to be present and to make our brand stand in their minds. And it's okay. It's after COVID. It's like Brian said, almost pre-COVID. People are really eager to be here.
No, I think all of these answers are absolutely right, and I think the other thing that people get coming to the trade shows is not just looking at the equipment. They meet their peers and they pick up a lot of industry intelligence, and that's something that you can't replicate online. So anyway. Moving on to the next question, what are the pros and cons of maintaining a strong social media presence? I mean, what's the value? What's the real value in social media from a business-to-business perspective for you guys? Back to you, Brent.
Yeah, so it actually ties into a later question too. It's one of the most exciting things that we've been using is social.
Right.
I love it. It's something we haven't been playing with, but beforehand, right? But COVID really kind of forced the whole digitalization and really made us look at how can we reach people better and faster. Mm-hmm. And so through social, LinkedIn, all these other ones, we're getting our message out there faster to better people, to more people, and just it's fun. It's fun because you get to do different things with it, right? Mm-hmm. You can little short form video, send them a quick message out that way. Do a show intro, come see us. We got some stuff here. So there's a lot of fun things, especially with, for me, it's the videos. There's even like Q&A sessions you can do on LinkedIn, for example, and get people's perspective on stuff. So for me, it's a lot of pros, right? I don't have very many cons for social.
Well, I mean, this time last year when we talked about it, I think the consensus was that LinkedIn was very much the social media platform of choice. But there's so many other options out there. Is there value in using any of these other platforms, Sherry?
We have discovered that when you're working B2B, LinkedIn is really the meat. That is where you're going to meet your people. People want to use the other ones for their personal life, and they don't want them to intermix. So we've kind of narrowed it down to where we use YouTube. We have a YouTube strategy, putting out all those videos that, that's the thing now, videos.
Yeah.
People want those short, nice, informational videos.
Yeah.
And again, you can have a lot of fun with them.
Yeah.
And then Twitter. We do use Twitter because, like, for events. But so I've kind of directed my team to say, okay, LinkedIn is our constant. That's our message board. That's our reach. And then Twitter, you can do that anytime at the show. Like they're tweeting out right now, I'm on a panel.
Right.
They took a picture. So it'll show up on our social media, and people will go to Global SMT to watch the video. Okay. So between those two, I know there's a lot of, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok's taken over the world. It's just not our image. It's not. That's not going to reach the people that we want to reach.
Yeah, TikTok's also been politicized.
Very
a bit
controversial,
recently, and that's quite controversial. So I think from a business-to-business point of view, it's probably better to avoid that type of controversy. Deb, I mean, are you a big user of social media?
So, yes and no. I agree with what Sherry said. I think LinkedIn is, it's all about being where your buyer is, but also where they might be. So I don't discount some of the other social, yes, we do Twitter and some of those, the other social. I'm not on TikTok yet, so we're not doing that yet. But again, everybody consumes content with different channels and different forms of media. So, our job is trying to be omnipresent, if you will, and providing the content in the channels that our buyers prefer. But I do find LinkedIn, because I think we all do it as well, that's something in the evening, people will scroll through their LinkedIn feeds. It seems to be a better way, especially with the folks that we're talking to, selling to. They're very busy. They're on the factory floor. I don't think they're on Twitter throughout the day. I could be wrong, but I look at how do I consume those tools as well when you're very busy. You don't have a lot of time to spend on some of those things, but it is an important component of, again, a multi-channel integrated approach.
Okay, so here's a question. I mean, we all work with global businesses. You know, our companies all work globally, and we're using LinkedIn, of course, and some of these Western social media channels. What about the ones for Asia? Because they have their own social media platforms. You want to say something about that, Sherry?
I'm sorry. We do have a whole strategy for WeChat. But we have the people in Asia that are easily able, you know, China and Southeast Asia that are easily, they have easy access to it. We don't have as easy access. So I have a young lady over there that manages that. She does the postings and everything to get the engagement. But I look at it as something like Twitter on steroids.
Right. Okay. So Raquel, what's your strategy on social media?
So LinkedIn is indeed, of course, preferred tool or social media. But the real power of LinkedIn comes when people within the company are also using it, and they are the ones talking for the company within their network. That's where the real value comes, and how our company profile, is most of the times more successful when we have those interactions and active people posting on LinkedIn professionally, of course. But we also have employer branding strategy, and for that we use Instagram and Facebook as well. And it's quite powerful in that sense, since our employer branding strategy is really about telling people in universities and so on that we are here and we are working in Industry 4.0, and a very promising career maybe waiting for them. And so while they are on Instagram or other social networks that are more for personal reasons, they also see we there in a different way, because the approach is different, of course, and we have been quite successful in that sense as well. We also have a person for the China market, so we use the WeChat. Yeah.
Great. So it looks like you've all got a fairly good approach to it. Of course, as you mentioned, Raquel, people are also using it for employment, but it is important to make sure that everybody within your respective companies is also contributing and putting their part in and sharing knowledge, essentially, which kind of leads me to my next question, which is, how do we stop the brain drain in our industry? Now, it used to be, when I first started in this industry many years ago, that an engineer might write a book and impart his knowledge before he retires, or in his retirement even. But they don't do that anymore, and nobody reads the books. So how do we get that knowledge transfer from generation to generation? Let's have some thoughts.
That's a tough one. It really is a hard one. It's hard to figure it out, right? Yeah. I'm part of it. We love watching the STEM programs come through, and the effort that's being done from the young age to get these kids interested in it. Because that's one thing, we're not seeing an influx of people going into this industry, because it's just not as sexy as it was when we started doing it, right? It's changed a little bit. I still find it very fun. I love it. To stop the brain drain is hard. We still publish books and articles and try and impart knowledge out there, but it's more about just getting kids interested in this. And social media, like Raquel mentioned, I kind of had an aha moment when she was talking about it. I didn't think about using things like Twitter and Insta and all these other ones as a way to get the college kids who may be doing an internship or doing something like that interested in the industry or our company. So that was insightful. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because we got to figure something out.
Any thoughts on that subject?
The brain drain is definitely coming, but mentorships, getting involved in those STEM programs and getting out there, doing career days, doing things like that. We partner with a couple of schools in Nashville,
right,
and we'll go and do the career days. And sometimes I'll take some of our chemists, and sometimes I'll go. I've done presentations for marketing classes in high school, but you got to get them early to let them see it. And then when you're interviewing and onboarding people, you got to catch them. You got to catch them and show them the exciting side of this, because everybody thinks, oh, it's just a bunch of engineers. It's geeky. It's but yeah, getting them invested early.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. It's a good point you make there, because the traditional view of manufacturing is that it's dirty. It's a dirty environment.
It's not. It's clean.
Exactly, and that's very often the first comment you get when you bring, a class of school kids or college kids into a factory for a walk around. They say, "Oh my goodness, this place is really clean." We didn't expect that.
And look at all the robots, and look at all the
I mean, it's a
the
cool
technology
place.
is incredible in some of these plants.
Absolutely. Debbie, you got any suggestions on this?
Well, I know internally from, some of the things we've started to really implement, again, is, that onboarding process, because it is a technical space and can be, complex. So, learning management systems, capturing that internal knowledge as well. Yes, we have lots of white papers and articles that folks can consume, but video seems to be a visual way for people to learn, implementing more of these courses internally, not only, about our industry, about our software solution, but even, business-related courses too, business is changing all of the time. Just
Right.
when you get comfortable, you've got to mix it up and do something different. So we never stop learning, right? We're always looking at new techniques and ways to do things better. So those are some of the things that we've done, internally to capture that knowledge and then impart. It's an ongoing process,
Right.
but we found that, as we grow and we're bringing, multiple skill sets, multiple levels, how do we impart that knowledge about the industry if they're not from the industry, as well as their individual departments that they're doing. And we find that we needed to invest in that area, and
Right.
that's where we've been focusing our time.
No, it's interesting. I mean, the science has proven that video, people's memory retention is better when you see something visually, and rather than the written word or even listening to it just in audio. But being able to see the visual content in the video gives better retention. So it's good that way. Raquel.
I think that we have a similar approach because, first of all, technology has a big role here. We can benefit of technology in order to have our knowledge shared. And in critical manufacturing, we have a learning platform where we onboard people and where we onboard partners. They have training courses, and the knowledge is there and is frequently updated, so we can be always updated and because market change, so and technology is always changing. So we try to have that documented that way and in an easy way to share with everyone in the company and even without the company, such as our partners.
Okay, thank you for that. So I'm coming to my final question. It's a fun one. And let's mix it up a bit. We'll start with you, Debbie. What's been the most exciting new marketing tool you've used in the last 12 months?
Marketing tools, maybe too much. One of the things that I've been leveraging is account-based marketing platform, and more specifically buyer intent data. So really that dark funnel, as it's often referred to, is understanding those companies that might be searching on certain topics but might not even know about us. Right. And then getting that information, using that information to then personalize the communication and the outreach to the different roles in the organization. So that is a pretty interesting tool that we've been using.
Better use of keywords and hashtags and all that kind of stuff.
And just to understand, what is it the end user, right? We all live in our worlds and we speak in things, but what are the customers? What are they searching on? What topics are they searching on? And then, we get alerts and it says company XYZ is searching on manufacturing execution software and those kinds of things. And we take those topics and then we personalize our communication because someone in the organization is researching. They may or may not have a project, but you know some trending topics. So it helps to really segment and prioritize who we're going after. And then I can put my ads in front of those and all of that. So
Yeah.
really have a nice integrated approach, which
Yeah.
is fun. I love data, and seeing those kinds of things is
Yeah,
really
but it's
cool.
good to have a strategic approach like that. That's interesting. Raquel, we'll go to you next.
So I would say it's not exactly a marketing tool, but I must say that ChatGPT, that everyone is talking about, really impressed me. And some people are saying, look, many jobs may be lost because of ChatGPT or artificial intelligence programs. But the thing is, you still need people, because if you don't make the right questions to the tool, you're not going to get the best response. So me or Deb asking the ChatGPT will have different results. So, but still, this tool is quite impressive, and I'm really want to explore it more and see how we can really benefit from that, because it can help us for sure to get more ideas, and because it's really amazing. I'm really impressed.
Well, I think you make a great point there. I mean, I think ChatGPT has been quite a phenomenon in our industry, especially. And in fact, unfortunately, it's getting overwhelmed, and so it's been falling down a little bit. But I think it's a really interesting thing. But you should use it also to help research some of the work that you're doing, but not necessarily completely copy and paste. You can take parts of it, but it's certainly a fantastic tool. It really is. Sherry, your best, most exciting new marketing tool you've used in the last 12 months?
People.
People. There you go.
You can't, I don't care how much AI, how much software you can find to crunch numbers and look at things. If you don't have people with eyes on your data, they can't interpret it. So that's kind of the most exciting thing is developing the strengths and the ability of my team to start thinking critically. When I hire, it's like, are you naturally curious? Because if you're not naturally curious, all that's going to bore you. If you don't want to do, an A/B test. Oh my goodness, let's do an A/B test. But what does it tell you? You can do A/B tests all day long, but if you don't care what it's telling you, you're dead in the water. So, it's not a new tool,
Yeah.
and it's not fancy. But yes, people, getting those right people in the right place to do that analysis, to implement the SEO, to find out what those keywords are, and like Deb said, we know our language. We know what we're saying. We know what we think people are looking for. But they may type in, we sell chemistry. They might type on soap. The word soap is nowhere on my website. But doing that data analysis and having people looking and asking questions.
Right.
People.
That's been your most, yeah. It's absolutely true. I mean, without the people having the eyes on your data, as you rightly say, then you can't be doing your job right. I guess.
That was a brilliant answer. I mean, really, I wanted to drop my mic for you, right? That's how good that was.
Took me all day.
Been thinking about that for a while. Yeah, but I agree with that. The people are great because not only that, everything you said about them, what's great is they'll bring new ideas. And we have a new girl on the team in Korea. Her name's Sarah Chi. Shout out wherever she is. Yeah, it was awesome. She came out and she's really doing a lot with marketing automation for us. Something we've never explored, right? Staying in front of that customer, right? Finding touch points along their journey to find another way to give them a hey, how are you doing, right? Here's something new. You may be interested, you may not be. But that's a really fun one, and she's really embracing that and running with it. We just got to give her more time to get on it. So it's that, but it's people. That's where it came from.
Yeah.
So it's great.
That's true. Well, people are at the heart of it for sure. But I think we're over the next coming years. We're going to see our industry, or the marketing side of our industry, it's going to change enormously with AI and all the new fancy tools that are coming in. It's going to change, Sherry. Yeah, I know you're resistant to it. but it's going to change. But anyway, it's a lovely debate. It's my favorite debate of the show. So I want to thank you all for coming in. Brent Fishtal from Ko-Young, Sherry Stepp from Kaizen Corporation, Deb Geiger from Aegis Corporation, and Raquel Madurere. Sorry, Raquel. Raquel from Critical Manufacturing. Okay. Thank you guys, and thank you to our audience for watching today.
Why do something 3 times when you can do it only once? Using N1 Pass technology, BTU's new Profile Tracer is a next-generation thermal profiling tool, providing real-time data acquisition for oven optimization. It identifies inconsistencies due to temperature variables at both the product level and the heat source. Profile Tracer measures dual temperature locations as well as vibration, all in one pass, giving you time to attend the more important things in life.
Ko-Young is leading a smart revolution that will change the world of electronics manufacturing. Based on our pioneering True 3D measurement-based inspection technology, we revolutionize the solder paste inspection market to such great lengths that 1 in 2 SPIs sold today is from Ko-Young. Building our SPI technology, we expanded to automated optical inspection, also known as AOI. Every year, we introduce new award-winning innovations and have proudly earned the respect from thousands of customers across diverse industries. Aside from our R&D center in Korea, we have research facilities focused on artificial intelligence and deep learning across the world to help us further develop proprietary AI technologies for your challenges. With our global network of sales and service centers, we aim to respond quickly to your needs and to deliver the highest level of customer satisfaction.